Hey everyone, this is Chris. Welcome back to the channel. So we're talking about the news, the market, and everything that's going on. First, FTX. I want to have a talk with you guys about this. I've mentioned it several times before on this channel. I don't trust any YouTubers that are pushing it. I don't trust Sam Bankman-Fried that's sort of behelming the whole thing. And basically with crypto, there's a couple of major concerns. So one, pump and dumps. That's a very real thing, especially for those sort of altcoins, that nature. You know, these kind of things to be very, very careful of. Now, two, the other bigger one, which I actually think is maybe even bigger than pump and dumps, is actually money laundering. So essentially with these cryptocurrency exchanges, you guys don't understand how this works. I can buy a whole bunch of, say, some sort of high liquidity commodity. I can buy it, then I can sell it. Essentially my money is clean and free forever, right? That's money laundering. And the basic gist of it is that Sam Bankman-Fried, he tries to pretend that he has no ulterior motives, but he wants high liquidity. High liquidity basically means easy to trade, easy to get in and out of positions. Well, that's a loud bird over there. You guys see behind me, I'm in Korea hanging out with the birds. You can see the birds behind me. But anyway, as the birds are also saying, high liquidity, but that's what Sam Bankman-Fried wants. And you know, basically he wants leverage, he wants trade on futures, and he just wants a lot of people trading cryptocurrency. That's how they make money. The other thing too is we found out that Coinbase also reported their earnings. They're still losing money, and they're essentially tied to are there people still buying this stuff? Is there a lot of transactions going on, right? So with each transaction, Coinbase makes money. And what is the value of crypto? Because we want the value of crypto to be up. People are more excited about it, and essentially if they get a fee on, like, for example, if Bitcoin trades at 20 and they take 1%, right? Obviously they'd rather have Bitcoin trade at, say, 40, or they take 1%. I think you guys get the idea of that. Also in the news too, I saw that Trump's home in or residence, I guess you should say, or vacation place in Mar-a-Lago, this is in Florida, was raided by the FBI. As of now, I was recording this, the FBI did not give us a clear reason of why they raided it. But here's my initial thoughts. You either believe in rule of law or you don't. You believe in justice or you don't. So I don't care which party. I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican. If there's some wrongdoing, I have no problem with the FBI, you know, going in and raiding and essentially, if they think there's evidence there, then go getting it. Now, also true, if they are indeed going into a former president's residence, they better make very, very sure that they got the goods. Now, my feeling is I'm sure they're well aware that this is a high risk, or not high risk, let's just say high stakes. That's a better way to say it. High stakes game, because if you're wrong, it's going to make the FBI look bad and tarnish them. So again, I believe in rule of law, and let's just see how this plays out. But I do believe, believe me guys, I get it. There's some partisans out there that say, oh, I love all Republicans, they're so awesome, and Democrats are evil, or I hate all Republicans and all, you know, Democrats are awesome. So I don't play that game. I believe in rule of law, and I believe that politicians on either side can do wrong things. Now, regards our president, this is a very particular thing, is it can be very damaging to a country. This is just real. If you put a former president in prison or charge them with something. However, I'll say however, I'm in Korea right now, you guys know this. The Korean president, President Park, was put in prison. She was doing wrong things. And if they're doing wrong things and it's obvious, I mean, you can't have a lawless country. So I also believe that no one is above the law. But with that said, regarding something like a presidential level, you got to make sure that the crime is huge. Like if it's something like really, really minor, yeah, I just give them a pardon and let it pass. But if it's something big, you know, you got to charge them with something. So we'll see what it ends up being. I hope you guys make that clear. I believe in rule of law. Also too, people have asked me about Intel. I think that's a really interesting one. It could be a value trap is my feeling on that. So I'm not super bullish on Intel. Believe me, I get it. The numbers look good in terms of numbers. But you got to know what a company does. You got to know their future prospects. It's more than just numbers. Now, I know that there are some channels out there like the Everything Money channel. They're basically just selling you guys software, and they're not that great in investing. Yes, they do look at numbers, which I think is great. But like I said, you got to know what a company does and what their future prospects look like. So regarding Intel, the Chola chip industry is down. It looks like chips are cyclical, meaning that, you know, people maybe upgrade their hardwares and their systems maybe, you know, every 2 or 3 years. So, you know, it's like a boom or bust kind of thing. Intel's also investing a lot of money in Ohio. Yes, they have government backing. So one thing that is true, if the government ends up, you know, passing a lot of money onto Intel, it may help them quite a bit. But as of yet, Intel is also behind some of the other chip makers, right? I would take AMD or NVIDIA over Intel. Although yes, Intel numbers look better in terms of value. I think that I just looked this morning, their P ratio is like at 7. However, you know, you want the growth of the company to be above their P ratio. And so if Intel's only say growing 3% a year and their P is at 7, it's actually not a great deal. But full disclosure, they do pay a dividend. So, you know, I mean, it may be like a flat stock paying a dividend. Is this the bottom? I can't tell you that. I can just tell you that just be careful. There is such a thing as a value trap. The other thing too, which I think is worth mentioning, someone sent me a message. It was a Dr. Imran. I hope he said your name right. He sent me a message on Atlassian, which is the Italian company. So I appreciate this. Here's the basic gist of it. I think it's a really important topic. Companies can be very, very creative with their accounting. I won't say fraudulent, I'll say creative. Basically what happened with Atlassian is they played with the numbers by giving stock-based compensation, and when you do that, it can essentially give you a way to play with numbers, and you can essentially hide losses if you want, or just manipulate your cash level. So I just wanted to bring that up to you. Yes, I could probably go through numbers. I'm in the park right now. Maybe we'll do that if you guys are interested in that kind of thing, but I just wanted to bring that up, that these things do happen with companies. So and I guess that feeds into the Intel example as well, is that investing in stocks is more than just numbers. However, don't be one of those people that say, oh my God, Kathy Wood or whatever, you know, channel told me that X stock is gonna go to the moon. They don't show any numbers, and that's kind of the reverse spectrum. So, you know, this is why investing's tough, is because you gotta balance out your knowledge of numbers, and also balance out your knowledge of companies, and also balance out what you think the future is gonna be. So, for example, guys, if I was investing in anything future right now, not talking about numbers now, just future, I'd probably be in alternative energy, cryptocurrency, anything to do with data and healthcare things. With that said though, man, the market's tough. Like, I saw that Novavax had a disappointing earnings, and so that stock was sinking. You know, this is the stock market, and you know, you got to be prepared for these kind of things. And one of the things that I've been telling people, you know, all along is I think stocks are not cheap right now, so I wouldn't be going all in. But believe me, I get it. There was a huge rally this past month, but I just kept going like, what is going on here? Why are we rallying? Is there news that I'm missing? Is something going on? We do have CPI data coming out tomorrow, and we'll see how that plays out. The basic bet is, has inflation topped? Has it peaked? Or could we see more inflation? My feeling is, okay, even if inflation has peaked, right? Even if it's topped, I just don't see it coming down anytime soon. You know, one of the biggest things that's a big problem with inflation is people that have jobs. Now you're like, what is going on? People have jobs, is that a bad thing? Well, for inflation it is. If you had to pay a whole bunch of people a whole bunch of money, right, to come back to work, because at one point we essentially had like a worker shortage, because during the pandemic nobody wanted to come back to work, and so, you know, employers had to pay people more money, and once you start paying people more money, you can't really like lower their salaries. It doesn't really work that way. So and also too, once you start giving people a bunch of money, which what the government did, essentially print a bunch of money, it just raises prices on everything, because everyone has a lot of buying power. So I just don't see inflation like cooling off that quickly. The thing is what's going on with the volatile market is no one's sure exactly what the Fed's going to do. I still believe they're going to be more hawkish than people think, because as it turns out that if inflation is not cooling off as fast as they want, right, they're going to need to raise interest rates. I also expect unemployment to go up. That's just my opinion on that. I keep seeing that, you know, essentially all these tech companies overhired. I do see a world where, you know, a bunch of travel companies will be overhiring now, expecting a big boom, and then sort of when demand's not as high as they thought it would be, they may end up firing a bunch of people. Sorry, I got a mosquito flying around, I gotta swat it away. Other than that, other than mosquitoes and other than, you know, FBI raids at Mar-a-Lago, that's sort of what's going on in the market. Be careful of this money laundering stuff. We talked about the crypto. It's funny how, you know, when you do these things outside, how you get distracted by stuff. But you know, that's YouTube, and that's these things. And I just want to tell you guys, you know, when I do these market updates with you, I do them live, uncut, and enjoy sharing this stuff with you. We're still in Korea. Actually, we moved here. Some people think we're just traveling. No, we moved here, and we'll be looking for a place. We're probably gonna live around Busan area. If you guys know that area, it's near the ocean. I like seafood. I want to live by the ocean, and so we'll be busy, but I'll keep making out content for you. And also too, I mentioned as well, you can tell my other content on regards to life in Korea. My wife's sister's getting married, and we'll be doing some content on that. So thanks again for everyone for watching, and always leave your tips, comments, and things that you have questions about, and we'll try to answer those as we go. So thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next video.